Today we're getting into the latest Tesla news, including new 4680 cell updates, Cybertruck production getting closer, used and new Tesla vehicle price drops, and more, so let's get into it. First up today, some big updates for Tesla's 4680 battery cells. Back in 2020, Tesla had Battery Day, where they announced their new 4680 cells made entirely in-house that would bring some major advantages. These cells, put into a structural battery pack, would make up the new Model Y 2.0. This would be the updated version of that car that Tesla would ship exclusively out of Giga Berlin and Giga Texas. Tesla shipped the first version of the 4680 Model Y out of Giga Texas in the middle of this year, and this was the Model Y people were most excited about. But when Tesla finally shipped it, it was a standard range model. It had less range than the normal model shipped today, and was only offered to a few employees and a few customers. Since then, we haven't heard much about this updated car, as Tesla is focused on making it with batteries they have available at volume. Tesla has had difficulty scaling 4680 cells, understandably, which is why that version of the Model Y has been put on the back burner. The assumption as well is that the Cybertruck will rely on 4680 cells, so delays there could be from these batteries. In any case, Tesla has now confirmed in a tweet that they have produced 868,000 cells in a week, which is about 1,000 cars worth of batteries. This is a big development and one of the first true confirmations we've had for 4680 cell volume. The last we heard about 4680 volume was that Tesla had produced their 1 millionth 4680 cell total. That happened back in January, and now they have produced nearly 1 million within a single week. That's a big milestone, and this is only coming from Tesla's pilot plant at Cato Road. They eventually plan on producing these cells at scale in Texas and Berlin, with each having a larger capacity than this pilot plant. At the same time, though, Tesla is now expanding into another building that's about 4 times the size of the current Cato Road building. They signed an application on December 21st with a filing that says Cell Development Lab, New Cell Lab at First Floor. The project should cost about $1.5 million, and Tesla has already posted new jobs at this location. They relate to powder processing, wet chemistry processes, document data, and much more. The assumption here is that Tesla is expanding this in order to increase production at Fremont, but it could also have to do with a report from Teslarati back in October. Tesla described a new project, and sources told Teslarati that this is where they would manufacture Cybertruck battery packs at first. They would take batteries either produced at Cato Road or Giga Nevada and put them into battery packs there. Then these would make their way to Giga Texas for final Cybertruck assembly. We'll see how this all develops, but Tesla is definitely putting lots of battery production capacity into place. It may take a long time to come to fruition, but it should make a big impact in the years to come. Next up today, Tesla has told employees that it is implementing a hiring freeze and confirmed that another round of layoffs is coming next quarter. Similar happened in June when Elon Musk said that Tesla would pause all hiring and cut 10% of staff. Some reports said it was because Elon had a, quote, very bad feeling about the economy, but we quickly saw Tesla reverse this hiring freeze and continue growing throughout the year. For now, quote, Tesla has communicated to some employees that it is stopping hiring for now. On top of the hiring freeze, Tesla also noted that teams will be expected to make layoffs during the first quarter of 2023. Tesla still plans to hire, specifically in manufacturing locations, so the details of the extent of this freeze are unclear. Many companies are in a similar position, but many also assume this is coming as a result of the huge fall of Tesla's stock throughout this year. Next up today, we only have 3 days left in the year, but if you're eager and manage to snag a Model Y or 3 in inventory, Tesla is now offering the best discount they've offered yet. On the Model Y or 3 website, they exclusively link to their inventory page and say, take delivery of a new Model Y between December 21st and 31st, 2022 for a $7,500 credit and 10,000 miles of free supercharging. When you click see available inventory, you may still be able to find a vehicle available in your area, and this could be the best deal you'll see on these cars for a while. Tesla here is matching the tax credit that should apply to the Model Y and certain Model 3s next year, but they're making it available regardless of configuration. In my area, there are no longer any available vehicles in inventory, so for certain areas, it appears that their strategy here has worked. Recent reports said that Tesla also authorized their North American locations to begin selling display and test vehicles. That typically only happens at the end of the quarter or end of the year, as Tesla has no more inventory ready to deliver. They've wanted to clear out inventory and prevent people from waiting on their deliveries, so they matched the discount the tax credit should be providing, but made it better. It's a point of sale credit that also includes supercharger miles. Based on most evidence, this is the main reason Tesla is offering this credit, but some feel it could have to do with Tesla receiving less demand related to Elon's drama at Twitter. If that is a factor, that will become much more clear in 2023 once the tax credit is fully clarified and in place. One sign that Tesla may be having trouble selling vehicle inventory comes from Canada and Mexico, though. At the same time Tesla offered a credit in the US, matching the impending tax credit, they have also offered a credit on the Model Y and 3 purchased in Mexico and Canada before the end of the year. They are offering a discount here where there is no impending tax credit people are waiting on. When first implemented, Tesla hadn't raised the US credit to $7,500 yet, so Electrek said, quote, "The Canadian and Mexican discounts are almost identical to Wednesday's additional US discount. Both convert to roughly $3,750 USD, which is the amount Tesla raised the US discount by." This is very interesting to see and something that can't be explained away with the upcoming tax credit. It appears that Tesla has needed to sell their inventory throughout North America. The tax credit is definitely a factor in the US, but there's more at play here. Tesla's continual price increases throughout the year could finally be having a negative effect on demand, but something else may be at play as well. Over the past couple years, used Tesla prices have been very high, holding value well and sometimes earning a profit for Tesla owners flipping their cars. Now, according to Reuters, quote, "Prices of used Teslas are falling faster than those of other car makers." Quote, "The average price for a used Tesla in November was $55,754, down 17% from a July peak of $67,297. The overall used car market posted a 4% drop during that period, according to Edmunds data. The used Teslas were in dealer inventory for 50 days on average in November, compared with 38 days for all used cars. They attribute this change to easing fuel prices, interest rates rising, Tesla's increasing prices, Tesla's output increasing, and EV competition growing. They also chart out how Tesla's used prices decline faster than other vehicles, Teslas sit longer in used car lots recently, and the share of 2022 Teslas for sale used has grown. Quote, "You can't sell your current Tesla for more money than you paid for it," which was true for a lot of the past 2 years. Tesla definitely isn't alone here, with CarMax reporting an 86% drop in third quarter profit overall. The used market as a whole is dropping significantly, but Tesla isn't immune this time as they have been. This could also be a factor leading to these discounts offered in the US and elsewhere. In any case, given Tesla's increased production capacity, larger than usual amount of vehicles in inventory at the end of the quarter, and the fact that their inventory is nearly gone now, this still sets Tesla up to have around an estimated 400,000 vehicle quarter. This would beat their previous records and would be a very strong sign going into 2023. Regardless of everything going on, they may still beat previous records by a lot. The one thing we'll have to see is how these discounts affect Tesla's earnings, since many of these cars at the end of the quarter were $3,750 or $7,500 off in order for them to sell. 2023 should be very interesting for the vehicle market as a whole. In my 2023 collaboration video, linked below, Sandy Munro predicted that 2023 could be a bad year for the automotive industry in general, but that Tesla may be one of the only companies that is immune. The EV tax credit is coming into place, we may see the introduction of an updated Model 3, Tesla's production capacity will continue to grow, they may finally ship the 4680 Model Y at scale, introduce the Cybertruck, and Tesla may finally have to lower prices officially. I personally expect that they may drop the long-range all-wheel drive Model 3 price down below $55,000 so that it qualifies under the tax credit MSRP cap. There's a lot to see develop, and I'll be sure to keep you posted. Next up today, we're seeing some real progress for the Cybertruck. Recently, we saw Tesla take delivery of their first massive gigapress to make the Cybertruck casting, and we saw the first leaked image of a Cybertruck body in production. This appears to be a prototype they are working with, and Sandy Munro looked at it in depth, saying these are 5 components welded together. This appears to be a prototype and not the full casting yet. But this week, Tesla took delivery of 66 KUKA production line robots in Houston. These are the robots Tesla prefers in manufacturing, and Tesla already uses them on other cars. In February of 2021, they took a huge delivery of these robots in Giga Texas for Model Y production. There are photos of what these robots look like in the factory, and the timing here is pretty clear. They're for Cybertruck production. 66 of these actually isn't a huge number, so it could mean that Tesla will be receiving more for the Cybertruck line, or they are working on a very efficient line, getting the maximum use out of each robot. This is always their goal. As for the Cybertruck production timeline, Tesla appears to be waiting until the Model Y reaches volume production in Giga Texas. This would mean a run rate of 5,000 Model Ys per week at that factory. Currently, they produce 3,000 per week, so once they ramp this up further, they will be laser focused on getting the Cybertruck line running to hit delivery goals of the second half of 2023. We'll see how this develops, but they are certainly putting all the pieces in place to make this truck. Next up today, California has passed a new law that affects Tesla and their naming of full self-driving. For a long time now, Tesla has sold a software upgrade package called Full Self-Driving Capability. Currently, this includes a number of autopilot upgrades and should get you the FSD beta, but it is in no way fully self-driving as the name suggests. It's also $15,000 today because Tesla's plan is to continue upgrading this until it's truly self-driving. I've always taken issue with this naming since it basically has nothing to do with the capability it actually delivers, and now California agrees. In 2023, a new law is being put into place that will ban Tesla's naming of FSD. The bill says, quote, "A dealer or manufacturer shall not sell any new passenger vehicle that is equipped with any partial driving automation feature or provide any software update or other vehicle upgrade that adds any partial driving automation feature without, at the time of delivering or upgrading the vehicle, providing the buyer or owner with a distinct notice that provides the name of the feature and clearly describes the functions and limitations of the feature." They add further that a manufacturer or dealer shall not name any partial driving automation feature or describe any partial driving automation feature in marketing materials using language that implies or would otherwise lead a reasonable person to believe that the feature allows the vehicle to function as an autonomous vehicle. This should mean that very soon we could see Tesla rename the full self-driving package, at least in California. I wouldn't be surprised if they changed the naming as a whole for simplicity, but I'm curious to see what they call it. I have always thought that future self-driving describes it well and keeps the acronym, but we'll have to see what they come up with. What are your thoughts though? Does this make sense? Leave a comment below to let me know. Next up today, Tesla has officially confirmed that they will begin allowing third-party charging stations in their navigation system. This means that vehicles could include stations from EVgo, Electrify America, ChargePoint, and more for routing. However, there are strict requirements. Quote, "Third-party fast chargers that meet our performance and reliability standards will be added to Tesla's navigation automatically as qualified third-party chargers. The intent is to ensure a smooth charging experience for Tesla drivers. The following standards will first roll out across Europe and Israel." The requirements are pretty strict and will likely prevent many charging networks, particularly in the US, from qualifying. The charging stations will need to meet these three criteria over a 60-day period in order to be added. Have at least one compatible charging connector, be frequently used by Tesla drivers at least once every 4 days, have an average charge success rate of 90% or higher. From what I've seen, the charge success rate of 90% or higher may be tough for some networks. Stations will be removed from the navigation system automatically if one of these criteria are met within 14 days. No charging stations detected. Average charge success rate falls below 70%. Tesla is starting in markets where CCS is already in place, so this will have a much bigger impact and likely more success there. Eventually, they'll probably add it in North America, but they'll be prioritizing chargers that have the Tesla connector, which they have now renamed the North American Charging Standard. I'm curious to see how this develops and if this ends up being a piece that motivates third parties to improve their charger reliability. Next up today, Steam has officially launched on certain new Model S's and X's. As I noted in a previous video, the unfortunate thing here is that this only works on newer 2022 plus Model S's and X's with 16 gigabytes of RAM. The original Model S that Tesla showcased using Cyberpunk 2077 at the launch event can't even run this integration, and will require a retrofit available at an unspecified date. I'm going to attempt to get this retrofit on my 2021 Model S Plaid, and I'll keep you posted. The Steam integration also requires some significant storage, and Tesla soon will be offering a $350 1TB solid-state drive for the Glovebox that will handle games. Worth noting that this is extremely overpriced for what it offers. In any case, owners have been experimenting with this integration, and some have found that they can turn their car into a full-out home gaming console. Not only can you play on-screen in your car with the great sound system, but Tesla's native Steam app can be linked to an Apple TV. This uses the Steam Link app streaming from the car to a TV. This user reported that it works great, so it remarkably must have a pretty decent connection. I would expect too much lag, but this reportedly works as long as the car and Apple TV are on the same network. The controller would then be connecting via Bluetooth. It's a pretty hilarious gaming setup, but also very cool to see the capability that this has. I'm excited to see this get retrofitted on the cars Tesla promised it on, and for them to potentially expand this to future versions of all of their cars. Last up today, some updates about other automakers. The Chevy Bolt is once again facing another recall. This time they're recalling 140,000 vehicles over fire risk, but it luckily doesn't have to do with the battery this time. The carpet could catch fire after a crash where a front seatbelt pretensioner deploys. This covers various 2017 to 2023 Chevy Bolts, 120,000 of which are in the US and 20,000 of which are in Canada. Very unfortunate to see another recall on this car that already has a rough history. GM's Cruise robotaxis have officially started service in Austin, Texas, notably where Tesla's headquarters are now located. They also started service in Phoenix, opening up to 3 major cities. They are now located in San Francisco, Phoenix, and Austin, hitting one of their big goals. It's exciting to see and can easily be compared to Tesla's lack of robotaxis as promised, but it's an entirely different technology operating in a very small service area. Kia this week teased their new EV9 ahead of its official 2023 debut. They have already shared a few photos of what this car will look like, including the wild concept interior that likely won't make it to production. Overall, these photos are a concept, but Kia shared a new teaser of the official shape of the EV9. It should be one of the few true SUV-sized EVs, following the R1S when it's announced, so hopefully we get price and production details soon. Over at NIO, they officially unveiled their new ES8 and EC7 EVs. The EC7 touts a drag coefficient as low as 0.230 and includes an adjustable rear wing. It looks to particularly be taking on the Audi e-tron. The ES8 is a larger 6-seat SUV, sharing a lot of similarities to the EC7, including a number of new technologies from NIO. One very notable feature is that these new SUVs are capable of fully autonomous battery swaps, rolling out in the first half of 2023. At the same time, due to supply issues, NIO has lowered their Q4 delivery expectations. Quote, it now expects deliveries to be between 38,500 to 39,500 in the fourth quarter, down from the previous guidance of 43,000 to 48,000. That's all the latest Tesla news for today, so in the meantime, if you want to see some Tesla copycats arriving around the world, you can check out that video linked up here or in the description below. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.